Okay, and showing the best research sites, I basically go through these, such as sportsline.com, one of the more popular ones, I suppose, and look at the recommended tournament plays, of course, and see values and things like that. I was just here at the research station as well, as you can see, in the DFS Army, so that's another one. So I really just want to go back to see if I can obtain that info. While this is pulling up here, connection got a little bit lost, I know. And let's see. But I'm putting these up on the site at wealthyfantasyfootball.com. The article Best DFS Research Sites for 2019 with the tournament advice here, particularly for today. So we can get going on that. Just need this to come up. Sorry about that. As that loads, when you just put in for $1 and then $10 a month after that, then you get access to these particular values. You can basically look and sort and compare with all the different ones. And another great one here, so also pull up, is the draft dashboard. They'll provide links to all three of these main sites and what they do for you. Particularly on the draft dashboard, though, they're always enhancing, putting a lot more features in there, such as the latest things they just now added, as in many, several in the past year or so, or longer, really. Let's say, for example, if you want to find some sleepers in the NBA, just come to this category right here. Okay, and you look at, for example, I was watching, in fact, New York last night with some of my time, and versus I can't remember who they were playing now. But when you hover over this, it just has to wait for a moment until it's done loading. Okay, as it shows you some important stats right here. Chance to hit 5x value, 52%. Projected ownership will come up later in the day. So as a sleeper, these can obviously bust for you, but there's minimal consistency when it comes to tournament or GPP plays. So this shows you some valuable information here, right to the left in the black box, including even the opponent rank, which you see on the screen here anyways, right next to. This is the draft dash rank box that I'm hovered over to show you the projected points. But since these things are added, not only the chance to hit 5x value, but also the projected ownership of the day. So you can try to differentiate with different guys there very easily. Enables you to come over here and get this information, research more detail on the stats and per game, minutes, all sorts of usage, in-depth, not only main usage, but assist usage, block shots usage, steal usage, all kinds of specifics when it comes to these things. I would think that this is a great use for season-long NBA basketball as well, since it has all these detailed stats on a daily basis accumulated here. And your X value over here, projected usage, of course, last 3 games, last 3 minutes of the last 3 games. So all this, and of course, their hot player or cold player confirmation right here. If it's just grayed out, they're not either hot or cold or in between. So these are under the 6,500 range on FanDuel in particular. Coming back over here to Sportsline, you can get your, if you are subscribed, your actual lineup. You can put a twist on the lineups, of course, in the daily fantasy section right here. And you can look to come here, an optimal play lineup, maybe for cash right here. And then, for example, yesterday, of course, you can check to see how these did day by day and so forth, as they should have an optimized article as well, or at least listing of tournament, so that you can use these DFS tools here. You just scroll down to you want to use a player pool. if you like that, or you just want the straight lineup, maybe change 1 or 2 players off of this from yesterday, for example, right here, your lineups. And you also have the DFS values, which it lines up very nicely on a PC. So you can look at here to the left side the best values of the day for you. You know, this also shows that here, as I had everything line up per the best plays. I'm just going to explain it real quick. Looking at, I sort out on the spreadsheet as I'm pulling it up, the NBA research. Let's take, for example, DraftKings. I sort out, weed out any players that are under 25 minutes. So they're out projected for the day. Any players that are below around 0.9 to 0.94 fantasy point projected per minute. So they need to be scoring up to around a point per minute. So that's all I do is adjust these right here. For example, like I said, with the minutes, put greater than. Since unfortunately I already had this done, sorry about that, but then I accidentally clicked on PGA and that's how it got messed up. But I'm on minutes. 24, when greater than 24 minutes equals at least 25 minutes. You can put a floor in for cash and so forth, but we're focused on tournaments. We're not so worried about that. We want a tournament ceiling, rather. This is how I got good results the other day in a larger slate on Monday. Greater than 48 floor, so at least a 48 floor ceiling of points. This is on DraftKings. And then usage, fantasy point per minute. You could go beast mode in that category, greater than, let's say, 1.05. So they're getting a little over a point per minute. Production will be there on these plays. You could come over here for a tournament, as I have to reset my mind a lot of times, focus on a tournament, because a lot of times I'm focused on cash because of doing a lot of cash games and trying to bring consistent money in, 4x, 5x. Remember, like we talked about over on Draft Dashboard, you can filter it here, greater than percentage such as 55%. Okay, so we're only getting high upside plays right here. Consistently doing something like that is not easy, but these are the guys that can do it. Westbrook, Harden, Curry, Leonard, Lillard, Capella, Nurkic, Miles Turner, and Marc Gasol for today. This is the 6th of March, by the way, on a Wednesday slate. These are the guys that can do it, get you the upside as you can insert in stud plays. And then what you do next is you look over here in the NBA simulation model. Once you have access to this DFS Army, and then there's access to the community as well. You can go to the coaches and get chat help, things like that. You can open this in Google Sheets if you want. It shows here usage, defense versus position. Some of the same things it really just shows on the other one, but this one particularly is supposed to show more detail, as like fantasy points, how likely they are, 100% likely to get 5, 10, 15, 20 fantasy points. The value for all those 3, 4x categories, projection. Let's see. It's not giving me the floor or ceiling for this, so when you really compare it, this has honestly minimal usage compared to the research station. But this is in simulation mode. So for the value, projected points, fantasy points per minute, this the only difference really, it's actually a significant difference, is that this was simulated 10,000 times so that you can see what results come out. The other thing you want to look at is donuts to dollars spreadsheet. Sorry to bring out another spreadsheet, but that's what's needed right here. The example was from yesterday here on these, by the way. These two spreadsheets are not out yet. It's just showing you some essential plays from yesterday, such as Turner, Vuvacek, unless this was updated for today. Let's see. It doesn't have a date on it, I notice. Let's see, DraftKings. Now I'm curious. Okay, this is for the 5th. Okay. Well, this sheet here is for the 5th, but the NBA, when you're doing some of this stuff early, you're going to see some differences in what's up and what's not, of course. So as far as that goes, check throughout the day because this is new. Donuts to dollar spreadsheet to give you some core plays that you can also insert into tournaments. So you could really just work off this if you want. Get some best fantasy value right here in this column. If you open it in sheets, of course, this can be arranged to put from least to greatest, something like that, to order and arrange it so you can do that. So I believe between those three sites, Sportsline, Draft Dashboard, and the NBA DFS Army, along with the simulation tools and all the help they provide here, coaching, this is the most complete. If you want to just go with one, a DFS Army would be. As far as really getting down to the nitty gritty and reviewing these and getting you off to what all you need, this site will provide the best research for you. So I've even given you some advice here for today in a direction to go and some of these best plays. This, of course, another thing to mention, this is also valuable as well as you look at, let's say, as we already did on DFS Army, the stud plays are the best high upside, expensive players. If you go over here to studs on the draft dashboard, you can also look to see, who you like according to, let's say, usage, minutes, and all that. You can just click over here, and that player is watched. And that is saved in there as long as you need until you erase it. I got 14 watch players right now. I could just click on this and just clear that list so that you can actually come over here and click on lineup optimizer and get a quick lineup set for you, so you can save a lot of time there, especially for using this site. You can do something similar. It's just kind of like what your preferences and format that you like. NBA Domination Station, you can get into that and do something similar with that. So that helps as well. Your optimizers, getting your lineup set. So I wanted to leave you with that, so I give you a nice, good review of those three, and enjoy getting into those.